Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. Let's get started with our hosts, Linda McKissack and Dana Gentry.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. I'm Linda McKissack.
And I'm Dana Gentry.
Hey, Dana. Oh, you said you're in South Carolina and it's hot.
Yep, I'm in Charleston. I'm here for 2 more days. I'm actually looking. It looks kind of like it's getting ready to rain right now. But yes, it was 78 earlier the last time I looked. So good weather. Although I head back to Kentucky this weekend, so I'll be anxious to see if it's cold or not.
Well, we have a great guest on today from Kentucky, Cindy Shetterly.
Yes,
so, Cindy, why don't you give Dana a weather report of what she's going to be looking at in 2 days?
Dana, you can change your weather plan, your travel plans to stay a longer time in Charleston. You might want to think about it. 40, I think it's 47 right now. And yesterday was 77. So yes, it would be a good day to change it till the following week.
Oh my gosh. You never know in Kentucky.
You never know. Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited because Cindy, right now, Dana and I get a lot of people reach out to us and say the market's tough. We're having a hard time. And yet when I saw you at our awards a couple of weeks ago, you were talking about you were having one of the best years ever. And so I think it's good for agents to hear that some people are having a great year. So can you kind of share with us? Now, I think you might have been one of the few that walked across the stage for over $3 million in gross commission income.
Woohoo!
Amazing. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, we are having a kick butt year. Right now we have 82 pending and 68 under contract. 82 closed and 62 under contract. Under contract. So
okay, hold on, wait, back up. Tell everybody exactly where you are and how long you've been. Give them a little frame of reference.
Oh, yeah,
because
sure.
People are going to be hold on a minute. Where does somebody have 82 closings already?
So I'm in Northern Kentucky. We service Cincinnati and the Northern Kentucky area. And been doing this since 2005 and have a team of 13 agents and just added another agent recently. So we're at 14 active selling agents. Every single person on my team is licensed. Majority are licensed both states. So we cross the river a lot.
Yep.
Lots of miles on our cars, that's for sure.
So now, Cindy, when you joined us, where were you at? I'm trying to remember when I know you were a CB or somewhere, and I remember when you came over, and you had a pretty small team then. So you've grown your team significantly.
Yeah. So I started in 2015. I came over to Keller, and I had a transaction coordinator and a buyer's agent. That's all I had.
Oh, wow.
So the first year at Keller, I brought over, I recruited a new agent and brought over another one from Sipsey. And then an agent that had moved here from Colorado, had been an agent for 7 years. She joined my team. So I immediately grew as in buyer's agents. And that was the following year I added I kept it at 5 for a while and then added in 2017, I added my director of operations, Marcy, and she came over from the same brokerage that I was at before. So we just gradually kind of accrued experienced agents along the way. I have new agents that I watch for a year. And then once they've been in it for a year, I kind of watch where they've been and what their production is and just basically their motivation of what they're looking for.
Okay.
And that's how I kind of recruit. I don't really recruit on numbers so much, but I have a guy, my newest member is 19 years old, but he's wanted to be a realtor since he was in 8th grade. And that's when he started. Yeah. And so he's got this determination and drive that to me, that's what it's all about. And now this morning on scripting, he was a rock star. And I said, so tell me how are you feeling about scripting? He's, much better, but I have so much more to learn. And it went from, I don't know what to say to popping in. So, and we just got Phil Jones's role play cards.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Highly suggest them for
Yes.
teams because we did those this morning and they're amazing. And so we can fire them off now, and buyers and sellers, and we're just going through those. So he did fantastic with those. So we do that twice a week. And that basically is, one of the reasons that I think my team has a high rate of conversions.
That is so good.
Yeah, those are great. Phil Jones, for those of you that don't know, spoke at Family Reunion. I think he's going to be doing some workshops for KW agents, and he has great material for realtors on exactly what to say. And those are like note cards, so you could actually practice the conversations, right, Cindy?
Yeah, absolutely. There's, can we go look at houses this weekend, and how would you say those things? Just those kind of things, and
That's so
open-ended
cool.
questions and rejection-free openings and those kind of things that are really important. So we've really been hammering that out, and it's just really fun to listen to my agents and how good they are now. I'm like, dang, I'd buy a house from that one. I'd buy a house from them because they're so good. They're just so good.
So how do you get enough leads for that many people and to do that kind of commission? So lead generation is the big issue right now. We moved from a speed market to now you got to have skill. And so congratulations, you're actually helping your agents with skill.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of skills that are needed. But what do you do for lead generation so that there's enough business? Are they required to do their own lead gen? What does that look like?
So we are doing, I love James Shaw, and I take his word and his practices, and we're doing the pipeline. So on Mondays, we are on the phone from 8:45 until 11 a.m. doing our 20 calls. So we do 5 DMs, 5 Facebook posts, 5 text, and then we do the D2, I always screw it up.
Yeah.
D2, D2, D3 or whatever it is. So we do that like from A's to Z's or whatever it is, and then text 10 people. And then 2 CMAs a week. So some people do it 2 CMAs every single day. It's really hard to get them to commit to that. And I'm tickled when they can get 5 a week is really amazing. So I just offered a CMA class. And again, we're doing a CMA again next Tuesday because some agents are still not that comfortable with them. So we're sending out those and really going after our sphere. I hate to say it, but last year, our number one source, the year before, and every year it has been Sphere. And last year it was Zillow. So we have a really high conversion rate with Zillow. And I require these things, and they are a standard for my team, that they do open houses and that they do scripting, because I pay a lot of money for Zillow. And so if it doesn't make sense for me to do it and they can't convert, I have no reason to do it. So I just recently downed my Zillow so that I could have homes.com as well, because
good. I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, I'm so excited for it. And I've already gotten 4 leads from that. So, and that is strictly agent driven, by my leads, by my listings, and they don't give you leads. They don't do anything, but people are calling off of those. So
Homes.com is getting ready to take over. They just surpassed Realtor.com at 100 million unique visitors. And this month they were hitting 160 million. Zillow has dropped and their unique visitors. So I don't think, Linda, I told you this, but last week, this week, the week before Family Reunion, I don't even know what week it is. And this week, I've been committing to do. I'm doing quarterly one-on-ones with the top 10% agents in my market center. So Cindy, I was so glad when Linda said, let's have Cindy this week, because I've been doing those calls. And the one thing I've been sharing with them is they got to get their homes.com profile claimed. They have to get their picture uploaded. They have to get their profile to 100%, because Andy, what's his face? I mean, everything he said, I was writing down, and then I went and researched it, and it's spot on. Like, homes.com is killing it right now.
Yeah, it's the truth. So we just had training for the team on Tuesday.
That was super good.
And so they could all get their profiles up and ready to go, to roll. So so that's one of the things that I've invested in. So those are our 2 big things that I'm paying for, and hopefully that homes.com, because it's not cheap, will pay for itself. And just by those 3 leads, that gets me the 2 months where I'm kind of broke broke even this month for sure.
Yeah.
Just more than broke even in 1 month if I get 3 leads,
Yeah.
listings. So yeah, those are my 2 big sources.
So do you have a requirement of how quickly they have to answer the respond to it also?
Well, we have a round robin. So it used to be that I would field every call and hand them out, and I would text them the link, and they had 30 seconds to respond to me, or I'd pass.
Wow.
So it became just overwhelming for me and too many agents. So now it's round robin. When the phone rings, it rings to all of them at the same time, and whoever gets it first. And so that it's just a way, it's just fair that way. And the ones who are hustlers, obviously, are the one. I had one guy close out 39 Zillows this year.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Fantastic.
I think round robin is pretty much the way most teams go now to kind of make it fair. And some team members don't like that, but if you're one that's a quick grabber, then you do like it.
Yeah, exactly.
I would cheat the system and have an assistant that always had my phone. So while I was busy, they'd be answering the calls.
Push. Yeah, exactly.
Because the problem with that is if you're in an appointment, you're not going to get that call.
No,
Yeah.
and so there's so many factors to being at the top on Zillow, and it's all about your answering rate and this and that. And so you have to be a Zillow Premier and to be a preferred and whatever it is.
Yeah.
They require you to have a certain percentage of pickup rate and all that stuff. So the team, I say, if you see a Zillow come in, swipe that you can't answer it, because if you just don't answer it, your percentages go down. And so they're motivated by that to just drop off. But one girl said, why every time that I'm in the doctor's appointment or in a showing, my Zillow rings? And someone said, oh yeah, you have to have that fast button all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's
Crazy.
true.
Cindy,
Okay. So number one, go ahead, Dana.
I was just going to say, how much of the business are you still doing personally?
Yeah. Interesting. I did on my own last year. I still am doing listings. I have a listing assistant that will take every referral from our agents, and she's working those. So she's not licensed in Ohio, so I am still taking those until she's done. She's on her last segment to get her Ohio license. Until then, I'm doing that. I am slowly, my one recruit that I really want to have is already established really good listing agent, and have them come over to help me on the and both sides. But last year I took 171 listings on my own.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How big is your sphere? How big is your database?
About 15,000.
Wow.
And those are counting all the people over the years that you've gotten from Zillow. So some of them aren't that, that necessarily warm.
That's my personal. Yeah. That's my personal, but the team each has their own, and then we combine them into a pot too. The agent that has the most on my team is not over 1,500.
Okay.
So combined we have close to 30,000.
But would your Zillow lead and your homes.com leads, would those go in to be part of that 15,000?
Yes, now they do, because I have an ISA caller that is changing those into our database and turning those into our pipeline calls.
That's great.
Yes.
That's really good.
Yeah. That's all that busy work that we just don't have time for.
Yeah. One of the things I've discovered on my top 10% calls the last couple of days, people are either like, well, last year we know was the worst year in real estate since 1995. And some people like you are having the best year that they've ever had still. Other people are like dead in the water. I mean, I'm seeing it's like one or the other. And so one of the questions I've been asking the ones who are really up, like, what do you think that you've done that's really working? I mean, I know we talked about the leads, but like, what else would you say that's working? 3 million GCI is incredible. I remember, Linda, when we were just excited when like Peter Chabris hit 1 million for the first time. And now it was like 2 million. Now it's like 3 million. I mean, it's Cindy, like you just have killed it.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I think one of it is just being really disciplined in keeping the team focused. And having, whether you're a single agent or a team or group or whatever, I think having the discipline to do those the steps that require. I said there's no miracle that when you're doing those, you're going to get whether it be in a month, a day, or 6 months down the road. If you're nurturing your people and you're having those relationships, that's the most important. And on this year, on my vision board, I put the key to success is only as good as your connections that you make.
Oh yeah.
And so I firmly believe that, and I keep pushing that with the team. Like last year we did good because we nurtured so many people that ended up coming back. I mean, we really did have a lot. And when I say the people that came back, more than 60% were Zillows that were from before that bought with us. So the listings that we had were our Zillow people. So for me, I don't look at it as that one-time Zillow thing. It's a continuous thing for us.
Yeah.
And so, having team events, having client events, having those people that we're just really nurturing is really important. And I think one of the successes is learning how to communicate and just nonstop. We do things that bring us together. We have book club every month, and we have I do a one-on-one with my agents. Marcy does a one-on-one, so they're getting 2 one-on-ones.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
So she does more of a business, and I do more of a personal.
Oh, nice.
So I'm working on their finances and their personal lives, and she's working on their business. And I think it helps keep them, when they're accountable for their numbers and they know where they're at, it's really important. So every Friday I go over and say, how many A buyers do you have? How many do we need to get under? Where are you at? And then we kind of work our numbers backwards. Okay, you're 2 behind. How are you going to catch that up? Because in April, you're going to have to make up those 2. What are you doing now to get those 2 made up? So I think it's just accountability, honestly.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your book club because that's what you and I had a conversation about that I was very intrigued by. But let's go back a minute. How do you explain what would your nurture program look like? Because that's a lot of return business and business from this sphere. What does a nurture plan, a good nurture plan look like, or that you guys have?
So we have 5 touches, big touches a year. One is a calendar at the beginning of the year. It's the big calendar, which we're phasing out and replacing that with, we don't know yet, but that's going to be replaced out because it's a big calendar that people loved. And I said this year, not one person wrote back and said, love the calendar. Thank you. I'm like, people are done. They're done with calendars. So
until you don't do it, and then they'll call and go, I don't think I got my calendar yet.
Yep, you're right. You're right. We do the magnets for Bengals and the Reds and college basketball. Those go out. We do a pumpkin pie Thanksgiving event, and we do one professional event, which we're phasing out and switching it for this year, a Easter egg hunt. So we switched and cut where our revenue was, where we spent a lot of money. What are we getting back on our Reds games that we are not doing it? We also do a tax event, and we're not dropping that. So April 17th, we have an event after tax season's over. Thank God taxes are over. We do raffles, and it's everything we do is based on charity. We give back to the community in one way or the other. We get a lot of people that are involved, for just because they want to help out with that.
Yeah, I love that.
So those are our main events that we do as far as client nurture.
And then do y'all do any calling, anything else that you have to do in the nurture?
Yeah. So I should have brought my list. So we have in our bold big binders that I have for everyone, every month we have whatever changing your filter from summer to winter. We just did those calls we offer. Then I have a heating and air guy who gave us a $75 cleaning. So we call them and send them those vouchers. Would they like that? Leaf cleaning with bags. Those things that are periodic for that shredding day. And then our reminding them, like our new calls have been like, I know you've probably heard about the market. Do you have any questions about what's going on in the market? And that's it.
That's a good, easy call.
Easy call.
Yeah.
I know you probably heard about the market, and a lot of it is about the lawsuit, and they're very intrigued by that. I've had people say, call me. I want to talk to you about that. So anything that people have questions about, we just, I try to, the market is an easy one. Everybody wants to talk about the market. Everyone wants to hear what's happening.
Yeah. I think that's so good because I'm writing that one down, Cindy, because one of the biggest things that and we've heard Gary say this so many times before, but over the last couple of years, to go from 6.1 million homes sold to 5 million homes sold to 4.1 million homes sold, unless you're like the D's, which Linda and I screw up all the time, but like the diamonds, divorce, diapers, death, whatever.
Drugs, distress, death,
I don't know.
divorce.
Then I heard downsizing. I'm like, there's more than
Yeah.
5, or we've
There's
made
more
them. Yeah. But unless you're one of those, like that, those are the people who had to make the move because they were motivated. And so one of the things I keep hearing, top agents talking about is they're in such deep relationship with their sphere because of all those things that you just said. They're calling, they're face to face, they're doing this, that they know when they're having a baby. They know when they're getting ready to have to downsize. They know when they had a death in there for like, they already know those things. So it's easier for them to be able to reach out to the motivated, where the ones that don't touch their people maybe once a year, twice a year, if they're lucky, they're just hoping then at that point that when one of the D's happens, that they're the ones that they call.
Yeah. We just did a survey that we're sending out to all our people. So that was one of our calls on Friday or on Monday was I just made we have it on now. It's a PDF, but it's questions, everything you could think of to ask your buyer. It says, how well do you know yourself, and and how do you know what you like? And it starts with, what's your favorite color? When's your birthday? When's your anniversary? But then it goes to, if you were on a date, what restaurant would you pick? And then they have like, steak, burger, casual, or chain. What's your favorite gas station? What's your favorite, coffee? So we have like Bigsby, it's Dunkin', or Starbucks. And those are the little things. What's your favorite color? What's your, if you were thinking of a perfect date or perfect vacation, is it beach, skiing, or outdoors? So we have all those things. So we're finding out everything that we can. I mean, on it's 2 pages long, 25 questions. And the reason that we're doing that, we're deep diving into building a more personal relationship, so that when we do a pop by and they say their favorite color is green, that we've made the cookies that are green, or we're doing something that is your do you like movies, Netflix, or whatever. And so if we're doing a $5 gift card to somewhere, to sending them things that they've told us that they love, to just build a deeper, more personal relationship.
That's so smart.
Love that. So you know what, I'm sitting here thinking, God, I want a realtor like Cindy.
I know.
That helps make my life easier. That I can bring shredding stuff to, and I can say, hooray, taxes are over, and all those things. I love it. That's when you're on the right track. So now, here's what I love also, Cindy. You take advantage of everything at KW. You didn't join KW from, and I'm sorry, I think I said CB, but it was CIBC you came from.
Yeah.
And not recognize the tools and not use them. Your people, you go through bold. I mean, you used, like you were just family reunion, you probably rushed home to do homes.com. I mean, you put the stuff that you learn into action. And I think that's so important right now.
Yeah. We, I think, my team, I've made them very involved on Thursdays at the office. We've been chosen as the scripting, team. So we script with any office members that want to come in. I've committed to teaching. Last year, I am not doing it this year, but I taught all year last year on first Tuesday of the month. And being involved and knowing that there's so much to offer, and you just can't do enough. And like my MAPS coaches that I did that boot camp that was 3 MAPS coaches that taught at one time. And that's where I learned like literally the most that I've ever learned in the history, like the best training I've ever had.
Wow.
And I've done a lot of training. I've been with Ferry and MAPS and Kikoska. I've been with all of them. And that was the best thing. So if anyone needs to do a boot camp and really get there, it's if they're a team lead, it's really for a sales director position. But my gosh, I got so much more out of it than me hiring a sales position. I was like, this is for me. And so yeah, that was an amazing training.
And what is that training called at? Because you mentioned that when we were talking.
Getting ready to ask you that too.
Yeah.
After that.
It's a boot camp, but I can't remember what the name of it was.
I can't remember what it is. It's Ashley Miller is the coach that is doing it.
I think I actually have heard of her. Somebody else has mentioned that to me.
I took the first class, and so she's kind of reviewing it, doing more. I'm seeing if I can pull it up on
we can pull it up and put it in the show
We'll
notes.
put the link in the show notes.
Yeah, Kate, I'll find it and send it to you. But
yeah,
that would be great.
Yeah, so she yeah, I'll get it. Yeah, if you have that would be great. And then I think it's Sales Leader Boot Camp resources.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. Sales Leader Boot Camp.
Yeah.
Okay.
And kind of quickly, Cindy, from that, you kind of started meeting with your team. Talk about that real briefly, because I thought that was really interesting what you're doing with your team.
Yeah. So we do a deep dive into, they do their GPS and their 411, and then we work off that. And so there's 4 or 5 people that finances was really important to them. And so we took a deep dive into their finances. And, as humans, we like to hide behind what's the most painful, and we don't want to discover those things because it's not fun. And they've been so incredibly vulnerable. And the funny part, Linda, I think I mentioned to you that I had such resistance on, okay, we're starting one-on-ones, and then we're starting this to 8:45 to 10 to 11 o'clock of scripting and doing this and making your calls, and we're on camera. No bag over your face. You're not, your letter. You are you. You must be present for that. And I had one agent who was like, yeah, this is too much. I can't do this. And so I said, okay, tell me what one that you want to remove. And he was like, no, I don't want to remove that one. No. Okay, no, and I don't want to remove that one. And now who loves it the most and is so accountable. And I said, all you need to start doing is, you're saying you didn't have time. So I ruined the gym on Mondays for him, and he didn't like that. So we moved his time, and now we time block a different time. So it's just about tweaking, but they'll say, when can we make up our 1-on-1? Like when we were at family reunion or during the awards banquet. So they want to have that because they're so proud of what they've done. I have one girl who's cut her grocery bill $600 a month. And I said, that's $7,300 a year. They want her goal is to finish their basement. And so I said, how can we achieve that? So we take their expenses. Then I take what their expenses are, where they cut. I've made them get cards that go to Costco, do just a lot of different things. So really deep diving into their personal and figuring out how can they have more of a work-life balance? What is causing them the most stress? And 99% of the time it's finances.
Finances. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cindy, one quick question, because I had this earlier and then I was like not going to ask it, but then now that you're saying that, I'm going to. How quickly do you feel like you can determine if somebody's going to make the cut, or like if they're going to make it or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I try to figure that out before I get them on the team. And then and they have to be very team oriented. I mean, I've had people who are amazing agents, incredible agents, high producers that want to be on the team. And I realized that it's not just about that they're incredible agents on their own or that they can do stuff, but they have to be where they fit in. And so sometimes I have to not be selfish and realize that I'm picking for the whole team. So that discovery came with my boot camp, was having your team involved in the process. And so my last hire, I had 3 of them go out to lunch with them, with the recruit, and see what they thought. So I want to value their opinion because I tried to do it the reverse way, and it was just a disaster of me saying, okay, guess who's coming on our team? And it was disaster. So that I can tell is helped a lot. And they have a buy-in because they're helping make that decision to say, I think she's going to be fantastic. I think that they're going to be, really good. And then right away, the motivation. I remember Marcy saying about one of our persons, oh my gosh, this is too much. Like, we're taking so long to train. And she's one of my greatest agents. But I said, you got to give her time. She knows it. It's just brand new to her. Like it's difficult taking on a brand new agent. They've got to have a lot in my mind. Like they've got to be survivors. single moms, people that have a really self-drive to make it. And they don't have to have experience if they have that, if I know that that's what's behind their motive.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, totally. Especially in the market now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
So Cindy, as we wrap up here, what would be one bit of advice? Maybe somebody's out there, they're working in this market. They don't have a big team or anything yet, but they want to do more business this year than last year. They want to have the best year ever, like you're having. What would be the bit of advice that you would give anyone out there thinking that right now?
Get a coach or get involved in a lot of the trainings that are on KW Command, or join Inspire with James Shaw, and get involved with other people, because you've got to know that there are a lot of agents that are doing really, really good. They're not all of them are having. And so when you hear that drunk monkey is on there just like, this is going to be crappy, and oh my gosh, the economy and all this. And one of the reasons I don't watch the news is because of that, because I will easily go down that trail. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So getting around, surround yourself with people that you can't call. If you're not making the phone calls and you're not doing that, there's no miracle. So call friends to sit with, to make phone calls if you can't get motivated yourself, but find a way to fill, to make those calls, phone numbers, circle inspecting, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say, I'm going to put my profit share hat on for those with KW. I'd say don't just call a friend, call someone who's in another real estate company, and so that they learn something that they don't have. And they also become accountability for you to do your calls that day. Because if somebody's sitting beside you, you're going to do the calls you need to do.
Yeah, totally agree.
That's a great point.
Totally agree.
Yes, totally good point.
Cindy, wow, so good. You just have, I just love it. You've shared so much stuff. I want to see your survey. I might have to have you send me your survey.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's such a great idea. Gosh, Linda, you did that for a long time, even with people that worked with you. Then I started doing it because I got it from you. But I think people are going to have to get back to that.
Well, let me tell you, because I'm the opportunity seeker here. Here's my first thought. Remember, for years in Gary's masterminds, and Cindy, you may remember this because he's done it way back since I was the number one agent in the whole company, and we met with Gary. They are going to eventually come up with a way that we actually have a chance to get monthly recurring revenue. And I'm going to tell you, the information and stuff that you're gathering is going to help you be farther ahead when that stuff happens. Because there's going to be, as Press likes to call it, the reoccurring revenue opportunity for us that's going to make all the difference in the world, right? And so having as much of that information as you have will be, because I remember years ago in our mastermind, we just brainstormed what are the things that we could do that with. And we're getting closer and closer, especially with our Domino's guy,
Domino's Dan.
Domino Dan. So I'm excited for that. So gather all the data you can, because when it comes time and we're ready to get that reoccurring revenue, you'll be one of the first to get to do it.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Awesome. I think your dog's finished their bone now.
Yeah, he finished. Yeah, he's ready to go out.
Mine just heard yours. So he's
probably 30-minute timeline was done.
Dog goes to a bone fast. All right. Well, if you have not hit the subscribe button, please go ahead and do that now. And if you have a conversation, an opportunity, or a challenge you'd like for us to talk about on the podcast, reach out to us at info@everything life and real estate. And Cindy, we want to say thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. It was so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be sure to subscribe for more business strategies and tactics to inspire you to live an abundant real estate life. Don't forget to rate and review so we can bring you the best content. Find this and other valuable information at everythinglifeandrealestate.com.